Welcome to the Points Taken podcast. This is episode 8, available Tuesday, September 26th at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 a.m. Central Time, Chicago area. My name is James Keeley. With me, as always, is Sammy Schaefer.
Hey, everyone.
What's going on, Sammy?
Oh, not much, man. Just excited for the show.
Super fun, super fun. We appreciate everybody watching. We'll try to remind you on Facebook, at Points Taken Pod, on X. We'll get it out there. A lot of support. We really appreciate it, man.
Yes.
People are coming through for us. This is great.
Absolutely.
Really, really mean it. We really appreciate you. Sammy, what's on the show?
We have Coach Prime gets pummeled. Is Taylor Swift kind of a brat? And the Miami Dolphins hang 70.
All right, Sammy, a lot to talk about. Let's get into it. What's first?
Week 4 of college football.
All right, how'd we do?
Well, we started with FSU at Clemson. We took the total of 55.
Yeah, they scored 31 in the first half. Very slow first quarter. It was 3-0, and then they scored 14 each in the second quarter. 31 in the first half. I was very excited. 24-24 at the end of the third. Thought this is easy. They'll exchange field goals, and then we're locked in. Mathematically, we're good. How did it end?
We ended up with FSU 31-24.
That's a push, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Total
That
55.
would be 55.
Okay. So, a push, better than a loss, but it's very frustrating when you probably had a good one. What's next?
Rutgers at Michigan. We took Rutgers with plus 24.
All right, Rutgers went up early, 7-0. They had a 69-yard passing touchdown in the first minute. Looking great. 14-7, Michigan at halftime. We still got 24. I mean, we're looking good. They're only up 7. How did it end?
Michigan 31-7.
So that's 24 on the nose.
That would be
another
24.
push.
2 pushes.
Very frustrating. All that work, all that study and analysis, 2 pushes. It just shows you how close these margins are.
I know, that's wild.
These bookies know this stuff. I tried to get the picks in early. It looked like one of my friends texted me. He goes, "Oh, I love the hook because he got 24 and a half." And I'm like, "I only got 24." And he was like, "I'm very sorry."
Yeah.
So, Michigan, just very kind of slow rolling. They got a pick 6 in the third. It looked like they might have had a chance to cover the spread, but they were just kind of slow. They didn't do a whole lot in the fourth quarter either. Rutgers, they had one big play in them. They scored 7 in the first minute, and they scored 0 in the next 59. All right, what's next? Get this better.
Colorado at Oregon. We took Colorado plus 21.
Okay, so, yeah. Everybody kind of knows. This was the game of the week. Everybody's excited. Is Colorado for real? The answer is no.
Mm-hmm.
The answer is no. They had their best player out and everything, but Oregon absolutely spanked them. Dan Lanning, Oregon head coach, talked a lot of smack in the pregame, did all this stuff. These guys are here for clicks and they're clowns and all this stuff. The Colorado players went, and they were digging into the Oregon in the middle of the field on their emblem and everything. Yeah. It looked like it was going to get a little chippy. Oregon handled it on the field. There was a lot of the talking and a lot of that stuff. But I really think Deion orchestrates all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
When the Colorado State head coach came out and said, if I talk to somebody, I don't have sunglasses on, then Deion buys them all sunglasses and he does this thing. I think he orchestrates all this stuff. Do you know what kayfabe is?
No.
Kayfabe in professional wrestling is when they keep the gimmick up. So back in the day, they would all travel together, but if you were a bad guy, a heel, or a good guy, they wouldn't travel in the same cars together because you couldn't look over and then Ric Flair sit next to Hulk Hogan because everybody they hate each other. Mm-hmm. They kept it going, and I think this is what Deion's doing. He's a marketing genius.
It's working.
When he was at FSU, he became friends with Gabrielle Reese. You know who that is? Really good looking volleyball player. I'm into really good looking volleyball players.
Really?
You haven't noticed?
You must be the only one.
But she was just a volleyball player, and she was doing really well. Tall, good looking, and everything. And she was friends with Deion. And Deion's like, you need to market yourself. This is how you do it. And she brags about him. She's like, he's a good friend, and he's a genius, and he taught me how to do everything, and he really helped my career. Or else, she got into modeling, had major success, and she attributes a lot of it. It's like promoting a fight. Then you get all this heat back and forth. The boxers, or the fighters, they talk a lot of crap about each other, insult their families, blah blah blah. And at the end, they shake hands for the most part, unless it's like Ronda Rousey or something holding a grudge. But they become must-watch games, Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, a book or a documentary is going to come out, and they're going to say, Deion orchestrated all of this.
I'll believe it. Mm-hmm.
He's great. He is great for college football. He's doing a lot of things where people who normally wouldn't tune into a game.
He's like XFL in real life.
Yeah, and they're tuning into Colorado games, and they're glued to the TV. Now, this one, they weren't glued for long. It was bad. It was bad. This was 35-0 at halftime. Mm-hmm. Colorado was never in it. Oregon went for like a fake punt on their own inside their own 20. It was something like that. It was terrible. 77% of the Vegas money was on Colorado minus 21. We were suckers like that. I'm not even like making like I don't know what happened. Everyone knows. 99% of the money line was on Colorado plus 650. So you bet 100, you win 650. That would have been a disaster for Vegas if Colorado pulled that out. I mean, the first game when they beat upset TCU and they were, I think, 21-point dogs. It was bad. I think they lost some money on that, and then again, and they kept covering, but Vegas got all their money and then some back on this weekend. We got suckered. It happens. But if they went 10-0 against the spread and we jumped off in week 3, we would have been like, oh, we're idiots. Yeah. So, what was the final score?
Oregon 42-6.
Yeah, it wasn't even that close. They really took their foot off the gas pedal. Shedeur Sanders threw a touchdown at the end. It was ridiculous. That was a loss.
Yep.
What's next?
Ole Miss at Alabama. We picked Ole Miss team total over 23.5.
All right. Strongly considered Ole Miss plus 7. I was like, Bama looks bad. They don't have a quarterback. They're bringing back the quarterback that wasn't good against Texas because the other quarterbacks played so terrible against South Florida. But then I remembered how crazy Nick Saban is, especially after a loss, and especially after a loss to a former assistant. He's a spiteful man, and I'm a little bit spiteful when people are horrible. Lane Kiffin is a troll. I don't think he took kindly to that. I thought they were going to I thought Ole Miss was going to put some touchdowns on the board though. And how did that end?
Bama 24-10.
So one team had 24, but it was not the team that we picked.
Other side of the field.
I thought Ole Miss looked bad. I thought Bama D looked very good, but I don't think Bama's offense. They started clicking in the second half. Jalen Milroe, their quarterback, started looking better, but he can be hard to watch sometimes, especially since we had such great quarterbacks before him. So hopefully he gets it together. What was that? That was a loss.
That was a loss.
What's next?
Okay.
I mean, okay, so now we are 0 wins.
Yep.
2 losses.
Yep.
And 2 pushes.
Yep.
0, 2, and 2. Ugh. What's next?
Evening games and tides changing a little bit. Arkansas at LSU. We picked Arkansas plus 17.5.
Okay, the last 3 years, like I said in the Thursday podcast, has been decided by 3 points. So it's 13-10 Arkansas at halftime. That's looking good. We got 17.5 points. So you're like up 20.5 right then. And then second half, they started having a little bit of a shootout. KJ Jefferson had 289 yards and 3 TDs. Looks good. But Jaden Daniels had 320 yards and 4 TDs. What happened?
LSU 34-31.
Winner! And another 3-point game.
There we go.
That game is it's pretty consistently a 3-point game. And then the nightcap, the big one.
Ohio State at Notre Dame. We took the total at 55.
Okay, game day was in South Bend. Night game looked like it was. I mean, Vince Vaughn came and did game day. Nice. He was in Rudy. I don't think he didn't go to the school or anything. But a lot of fun, a lot of energy. Touchdown Jesus. They were doing the whole thing. It was a terrible game. I thought, just terrible. Couldn't get anything going on offense. It ended with OSU scoring a TD with 1 second to go. What was the final score?
It was Ohio State 17-14.
Yeah, another loss.
Yeah.
Well, so what's interesting, they were going to walk off the field. It was 16-14, and there was 0 seconds on the clock. But they come back and they said there was 1 second when he scored. So then they make him kick the extra point. So that goes from everybody with Notre Dame plus 3 going, we just won. But then the refs came in and ruined their day. Ends in a push, and they underhit. A terrible game for the Points Taken podcast where we only take overs.
Only take overs.
Props and underdogs.
Yeah.
All right. For the week, what were we, Sammy?
We were 1, 3, and 2 for college football week 4.
1 win, 3 losses, and 2 push. Not great. Let's talk about something better.
Yeah.
All right. On to the next thing. What's next, Sammy?
We've got NFL week 3 picks.
All right. We've had to have done better, right?
Yeah.
We couldn't have gotten much worse.
I couldn't have gotten any
0, 3, and 2. Hopefully we don't go in this. All right, what was the first game?
Thursday night was New York Giants at the San Francisco 49ers. We took the 49ers team total over 27.5.
All right, like we said on the Thursday show, 49ers have scored 30 in week 1 and 30 in week 2. So I was thinking, okay, total's 27.5. They're very kind of methodical with the way they play. How did it end?
49ers 30-12.
30 again.
Mm-hmm. There it is.
That's when the analysis worked.
It did.
I go, I think this is going to be something. And then it was. I was so excited when it was 30. I'm like, don't score more points. I want to talk about it on my podcast. What a dork. That's a winner, Sammy.
Very good. Good
What,
one, yeah.
so that'd be one?
That's one. We
And,
start
and
off
how
the
many
week right.
losses there?
That's 0.
That's 0.
1-0.
All right, let's see if we can get to 2-0.
Okay,
What's
next is Sunday, Colts at Ravens. We took the Ravens team total of over 26.5.
Okay. Slow-moving game. Lamar Jackson ran well, didn't do much else right. Fumbled twice, he lost a fumble. It's 10-7. Colts at half. They had a lot of opportunities to score. Didn't come up. So you want to get, if you got 26.5, you want to get 14. Then you're ahead of the curve. We only got 7. Thought they could make it up. They just kept making mistakes. They came back a little bit in the second half. What was the final?
Colts 22-19 in overtime.
19 ain't doing it.
No.
Yeah, I mean, even when they got it overtime, I'm like, well, maybe they can kick a field goal and then a pick six. I just doing all
Keeping
the
your
mental
hope alive,
gymnastics.
right?
Yeah, mathematically, we're still in it. Like a degenerate piece of garbage.
We can still win.
Where's my money? That was a loss. Mess of a game.
1-1.
And a loss for our future picks.
Yeah.
The futures we took: Ravens, Jags, and Bears.
Yeah.
Oh yuck. Bad.
Maybe we should just not talk about our futures anymore.
Oh man. And then separately, I took the Dolphins, and I didn't put it on the podcast. The one that's
You're wearing the shirt.
I know, but I didn't want to be like a Dolphin homer. I want people to be like, okay, he can be objective with his opinion on the Dolphins. And then of course they're amazing. And I'm an idiot. All right, what's next?
Bills at Commanders. We took the Bills team total over 26.5.
All right, we're going 1-1 into this. All right, Bills 16 nothing at halftime. Looking good. All right, 26.5. That's over. That's over the halfway mark.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking good. And then 0 points in the third quarter. And then we're looking real bad. But 21 points in the fourth. What was the final, Sammy?
Bills 37-3.
Yeah, easy money on that one. I
Nice.
loved it. We were watching Red Zone comes on, and I go, they're like, there's a play, and you kind of knew like where it was headed. I go, pick six, and then I had a pick six, and Kitty's looking at me like, he's smart. I'm like, thanks, honey. In my mind, I'm like, what a fraud. That's a winner.
That's a winner.
2-1.
2-1.
Absolutely. What's next?
Broncos at Dolphins. We took the Dolphins' first half team total of over 13.5.
Okay, Waller was ruled out with a concussion. Broncos didn't want to start out 0-3. Dolphins are 2-0. The usual people. I got my text thread of my brother. So it's Jay, Ray, and Bush. And just by Wednesday of every week, we ride that Sunday high. About 20 minutes after the game, I don't know about next week. By Wednesday, the sky is falling. And I'm like, guys, just try to enjoy it. And I can be a lunatic about that too. But when we're winning, just enjoy it, So, yeah, I was getting them in my head. And I'm like, oh, the Broncos, it could be a trap game, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, forget it. I'm standing by my pick. They're going to do well. Tua's going to keep it going. Everybody was like, Tua stinks. Deshaun Watson is our guy. Should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah.
Bringing in all these bums to replace who is the current favorite to win the MVP.
Yeah.
Amazing. Sean Payton talked all this noise in the offseason, calling out Nathaniel Hackett. It's very famous, saying he did, quote unquote, one of the worst coaching jobs in the history of the NFL. It was a USA Today interview, and it was scathing. He, of course, apologized like a coward because no one can, own their own words or actions anymore.
Of course.
Unless you're Drew Barrymore, who owns this decision. I own this decision, you guys. And then the next day, sorry, I made a decision that was unpopular. Anything that's unpopular, people, I was wrong to say that thing that's unpopular that I knew was such idiots. I cannot stand Sean Payton. I loved seeing him get just abused like that. Now, Nathaniel Hackett, who he replaced in Denver, is now the offensive coordinator with the Jets. And he is an absolute clown. But you don't say that about somebody who, he's kind of in your coaching fraternity. It's a slap in his face. But he's on Hard Knocks, and he's like, all right, guys, we're going to run the offense. And then he pulls up, he says, has anybody seen Goldfinger? Austin Powers,
Yeah.
Or Goldmember.
Yeah.
Has anybody seen Goldmember? And he's like, it's so funny, you guys got to see it. I'm like, they're there to work. Not to high five you, and do Austin Powers impressions. But anyway, back to the game. This bet won I'm not even gonna get to it. Spent one in 18 minutes.
Yeah.
Like there's no drama here.
No,
we know what
yeah,
happened.
yeah.
We know what happened
Everyone knows.
yesterday. What was the final, Sammy?
Dolphins 70-20.
Oh, I'm gonna ask you again later. I think it's so nice to hear. Okay, but the problem was, we had a chance to break the all-time scoring record.
Yep.
It's from 1966. It was the Washington Redskins. 72-41 over the New York Giants. You know the NFL wanted that too. They're like, can we get the Redskins off of the records book so people don't see that we were called the Redskins for like 70 years? 70 something years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't, whatever. Whatever you think of that, it's whatever. But they did, again, they cowered and said, well, we'll change the name after the owner was like, we will never change it. And then they're like, yes, you will. He's like, fine, I definitely will.
Definitely Drew Barrymore did.
Yeah, and then they had all this dirt on him. So they're like, hey, by the way, we know you're a scumbag. Like, we're a multi-billion-dollar thing. We have files on everybody. So they just dropped. Yeah, they're like, do that thing we want. No, we have these pictures of you. Okay, whatever.
Change the name.
Don't tell people. Yeah, I mean, so they had a chance. They get the ball down there. In the fourth quarter, we took out all of our starters. They kept in Russell Wilson the whole time. They're still playing. So we get down there. We're running the ball. And on fourth down, don't even run the ball again. They take a knee. Okay? This is ridiculous. I really think this is the bad decision. The fans are in there chanting, 3 more points, 3 more points. They know that they have a chance to do this. But they act the virtue signal and say, no, this is sportsmanship. Okay. This is a game that celebrates violence and gives players brain diseases.
Yeah.
Okay? let's not sugarcoat this. Okay? No one went to the Coliseum to watch the Gladiators be good sports. All right? I'm not saying you need to drink out of the skulls of your enemies, but the people you defeat, but this is a ruthless game.
Even the Broncos fans were like, just go for it.
Just go. They could have been part of history too. I mean, it would have been the wrong side of it. But the coach works for the fans. It's entertainment. The fans wanted it, okay? You got to be entertained and hope for the opportunity to say, I was there when they scored the most points ever. Sportsmanship is playing the game clean and shaking hands once it's done. During the game, you play ball. Okay? I'm very frustrated. They should have gone for it. Then they turn the ball over, they kneel it, and the Broncos run a running play. They run a play instead of taking a knee with Russell Wilson. Bunch of absolute nonsense. What was the score again?
It was 70-20. Yeah, there you go. Let's bring the excitement back.
Yeah. You know their thing. What was the night game? What was the last game we got?
Steelers at Raiders. We took the Steelers at +1.5.
So my analysis was fairly easy on this one. I've seen all I need to see out of the Raiders. Josh McDaniels is very unlikable. Take the points. What was the final?
Final was 23-7 going into the fourth. The Steelers 23-18.
23-18. Love it.
Yeah.
Steelers came to play. It was not a very good game. Devontae Adams was terrific. Had 172 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jimmy G threw those 2 touchdowns and also had 3 interceptions. Yeah, he's a problem. That team is a mess. They don't run the ball well. They got a good running back and they don't run the ball well. Anyways, how are we doing in the NFL?
So far is 4-1.
4-1. 4-1. We got 2 games tonight. We did not take the Rams-Bengals game. It looks like Burrow is going to play, but just doesn't like it. They're getting Rams are getting 3. I probably would have taken Rams +3, but we didn't take it. But what did we take tonight?
We took the Eagles at the Buccaneers, and we took a total of 45.5.
Yeah, that line dropped. All of the picks I made early, like the line went the other way, like not in our favor. No. Didn't really affect any of the games, but the public was on a lot of stuff. It's down to 44. I also added an extra pick tonight, exclusively on X at Points Taken Pod.
Go check us out.
Took A.J. Brown over 70.5 receiving yards. He and Jalen Hurts are besties, best friends. Brown was upset in the last game. He wasn't getting enough touches. Jalen was like, it's okay, we'll fix it. So the game's on now. The first couple passes he threw were to A.J. Brown. 1 for 28, 1 for 16. He had 44 yards on the first drive, 70 yards, so we need 27 more. Hopefully that works. They weren't scoring a lot early. I just checked it. It's 10-3. There's about 6 minutes left in the first half.
Okay.
Hopefully we get there. So that would be, if we hit those 2, 6-1.
Ooh.
We'll give our final. But if not, 4-3.
Yeah.
With a 1 and 2. Maybe we'll lose.
We're still in somewhat happy clown territory.
Yeah. And last but not least,
exciting.
How did it go? What's Sammy's pick?
Sammy's pick, I went Chargers at Vikings, and I picked the Chargers with +1.
Okay, back and forth game. All right, a lot of a lot of action in this game. They were throwing the ball all over the place. Keenan Allen had like 18 receptions for like 215 yards. It was crazy. Mike Williams had a good game. Then tore his ACL. He's out for the season. That's a big blow for them. That's tough. Chargers are up 28-24. I'm like, all right, this is good. They're about to punt the ball from their own 24. No, they go for it. Nay, they go for it. Don't send the ball 60 yards down the field with a good punt and make them come back, make them march, make Kirk Cousins march the field. I guess they just felt like, okay, the game's over. It was under 2 minutes. The game's over if we get this. I get that. It is such a... I thought they blew the game.
Yeah.
The guy got so lucky. Their coach is just he goes for these crazy things. I don't understand. But you had Kirk Cousins on your side this time. And that helps. His ineptitude helped big time. How did this game end, Sammy?
Well, the Chargers beat the Vikings 28-24.
Sammy's pick
Giving
1-0.
my first win.
How you feeling with
Wait,
that, Sam?
let's get into character.
Let's get there. It's like risky business. There you go. It's good to be the king. It's good to be the king right here. This guy,
yeah.
absolute king. You owe Kirk Cousins charity some money or something.
I'm gonna send him a nice thank you letter.
1-0. Elvis territory right here.
Are these game day drinks?
Sammy,
Yeah.
time for everybody's favorite drinking show. These game day drinks.
Oh yeah.
All right. Everybody knows the rules, but I'll go over them again. We guess each other's score based on the first sip or two. Okay. Whoever's closest wins. Loser buys the next drinks. We got victory cocktails today. That Dolphin one. I didn't even care.
That's all that mattered.
If anybody's following and betting on us, you never want them to lose. But if it was just me, and I went 1-7 and or whatever it was, 1-11, and the one was the Dolphins winning 70-20, would have been great.
Still celebrate.
All right. Today, what do we have?
We have Mountain Dew, hard Mountain Dew.
Hard Mountain Dew.
Hard Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
They decided that Mountain Dew, I guess, wasn't enough, so they had to throw some alcohol in there.
Yeah. Everything has to be spiked with booze now.
Everything's got to be hard
Everybody's
now.
just a drunk on the go. Yeah.
Well, actually, my buddy used to drink Mountain Dews and vodkas in college. He called them Voodoos.
Really?
Yeah, Dave, you know him.
I kind of like that. That's kind of clever. All right. So, what is the first one we're going to try?
First one we have is the Baja Blast.
All right, we're going to score the Baja Blast. Sammy, you're first.
All right.
Sammy's picked. Going 1-0. You got it. I'm watching you on the screen here. Okay. Quite the reaction. Okay. All right. And now, last but not least, I'm going in.
All right.
I got to tell you, I'm skeptical on this one. I love Mountain Dew. It doesn't, do me right.
You're already biased a little.
When I went to University of Alabama, I never knew about sweet tea. I was from South Florida, so I just drank, iced tea. So sweet tea is basically just sugar water with a little bit of tea leaf in it, And then all the Mountain Dews and everything, they just refill your cup. And I've never been a slim guy. I put on so much weight. I've been like the freshman 55.
Mountain Dew.
Just Mountain Dew and sweet tea. I'm like, I'm not eating that much. Like, you're drinking like 9,000 calories a day. All right, here we go. Bottoms up.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, I've got to write my score.
Pretty cold. I left him in the freezer for a while. All right, so Sammy, I'm thinking, because you did a little bit of a reaction. You had a little bit of a,
Yeah.
Okay. I think you kind of liked it.
Okay.
I gave you a 6.8.
I actually came up with a 6.2.
Oh.
And here's why. You're right at first I did. That aftertaste was weird.
It's a little weird.
It kind of...
It's not harsh.
And that's why that face of mine came later. It wasn't that it was harsh. It was a weird follow-up taste.
Okay.
I think your story saying you love Mountain Dew didn't quite translate to your face, but I think you liked it. So I did rate you at a 6.9.
6.3.
6.3. Okay, so that would put us...
You know what we did? A dead heat.
We had a push.
We got a push.
Another tie.
That is hilarious. Stupid pushes. All right, let's try a few more. We got our score in. Which one is this?
Next one is watermelon.
Watermelon. All right. We'll just do this as we go.
Power drink.
Yeah, we'll tell you which one we like the best. It's similar.
It is similar. Same thing. It has this... I don't know what it is that's following up with that initial flavor.
Let me cleanse my palate with some BJ.
Some aperitif.
When you listen, man, when you come to my house, you get Fiji, but when we win,
When you have a winning record.
you get like even colder.
Yeah.
Even colder Fiji.
The green room was really nice this week.
I love me some Fiji water.
Next we have it's just zero sugar flavor.
Yeah, that's not a lot of effort there.
Yeah, they ran out of names by this one and just said
Yeah, you can taste whatever the
Kinda
the
bland.
zero sugar thing is on there.
yeah, all the chemicals they added to make it zero sugar.
Right.
Kind of bland though.
They're like, you know what helps you lose weight? No sugar and cancer.
You lose
So
a lot of
enjoy-
weight
You're
real
gonna
fast.
look amazing for like a week,
And then
and then you're in hospital
Yeah.
care.
last one is Live Wire. So again, not sure what the flavor is, but they must be Motley Crue fans.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
give it a shot. Yeah, I mean it's my favorite. Not
I
by
feel like
much.
this is my favorite too.
Yeah, by like 1 or 2 points.
Yeah,
So I originally said 6.2. That would be a 6.4 maybe.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the question is, are these game day drinks?
I couldn't drink these all day.
Yeah,
I mean, it was refreshing one, but if you handed me a second or third one, I would be like, nah, I'm okay.
yeah. By my score, if you're under like a 6.8, I'm gonna say no. I would say yes on this. Like if they were in a cooler, I think people would enjoy them casually. But yeah, you're not. This isn't a session drink at all.
You know, preseason, if you're sitting outside watching the game, yes.
Yeah,
As you get into the winter time, sitting in your basement, I wouldn't.
super cold ice down. I'd have 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But tops.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's a game day drink to me.
Okay.
Not for you.
No.
We're good. It was fun to try though.
Yeah, I'm glad I tried something new.
All right, what's next? Sammy, what else is in the news?
Well, Taylor Swift and how do you say his name?
Travis Kelce, you are such a fan. Keep it going.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce apparently dating.
Yes. God, you're a football fan. So Taylor was in attendance as the Chiefs destroyed the Chicago Bears 41-10.
I love how she brought her masses to watch the Bears.
Yeah,
get
I know.
destroyed.
She was a huge distraction,
Yeah.
and she will be. Taylor will also undoubtedly destroy the Chiefs organization. That dynasty is over.
Done.
Just franchise cancer. Yeah. She's not a good girlfriend.
No.
This seems very contrived. They were like, oh, there's cameras here as they walk by. Jared Payton filming something. Seems like absolute nonsense. But maybe she's out of song ideas and dating the Pfizer spokesman. That'll inspire her. At least he has the hookup for like creams and ointments
Yeah.
that she'll need after sleeping with Travis Kelce. Handsome fella. Seems like he's got a garbage wing. Does well with the ladies.
Yep.
Into catching Kelsey dating show. Catching chlamydia with a K.
There you go.
Yeah. He was. This clip came out today. Now they're the talk of everything now.
Yeah.
Coach Prime saw it. He's like, thank God Taylor Swift and Kelsey are dating. Nobody talking about Coach Prime today.
He's right. They're all over Twitter.
Yeah.
All over.
He might have. Dion might have had his hands in this.
It's possible.
Taylor, go to the game. Get sports talk off of my back.
I'll pay for your ticket.
Please, Taylor. It's Coach Prime. Yeah. So a clip came out of him on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen that he's not a fan of women who don't give oral sex. Another woman asked him this on the Deal Breaker segment. Someone called Ramona Singer from Real Housewives of New York City.
Yeah.
That might mean something to some people.
Yeah, maybe.
But she's like being like, oh, you don't like, oh God, just disgusting human beings like talking about. And I'm no prude, but
You know what? It's not that it was the topic was really off. It was the awkwardness of the conversation. Like she was just awkward.
yeah,
Just super excited to hear about his sexual preferences.
yeah, and he's just sitting back, doing his
Sounds like
swag
weird.
thing. Again, just like a good-looking, rich, athletic, like moron.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, maybe she's made that the new thing. Next time I see someone famous, I'm just gonna run up to them and ask them their sexual preferences.
yeah, just be like, so and I love that question. Like, are you a fan of oral sex?
No.
Yeah. He's like, oh, take it or leave it. He also said, yeah, it's not amazing at all. He also said, no sex after a third date is a deal breaker. And by that he means the first date.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's not courting anybody.
No.
Yeah, he's like 20 minutes into it. He's like, why are you being like this?
It's probably in his date contract he sends out to the women before they even go on their date.
Yeah.
Just so you know, this is the expectations.
Yeah. By like the 21st minute, he's
Yeah.
like Latimer from, what's that football movie? Anyways.
Yeah, no.
It's not a fun scene. Yeah. And also, he did admit though that fake breasts were not a deal breaker. That was very shocking.
Really, that's shocking to you?
Yeah, no, not at all. Like he's gonna care.
Yeah.
Bigger the better, bro. What else is in the news?
They're pretty much dominating the news.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
so more Swiftsy talk.
Oh, there we go.
That's
More
a combo
yeah.
of Swift and Kelsey that I'm going to trademark
Got
tomorrow.
a Swiftsy. I like it.
Swiftsy. Yeah, Kelsey and Swift. It's perfect.
Nice.
Page 6 reports that Taylor rented out an entire restaurant in Kansas City so she wouldn't be bothered by fans.
Okay.
No problem. But she did it last minute. Apparently, waitresses went up to tables and said, quote unquote, here's the deal. Everything's paid for, but you have to leave, like right now. Yeah.
Wow.
Some are saying her entitlement is becoming a bit much. So
That's-
the question is Taylor Swift an entitled brat?
Well, after that story, you have to say, yeah.
Yeah. You know, she's worth a reported $740 million. Super popular, very talented. The tour went crazy. Every, woman of my age group went, they're like stepping over their daughters, like, I'm going to that concert.
You can't afford this. I'm going.
The music you love, I'm going to see. I'm going to Disney and I stay home, Rebecca. I really mean to Rebecca's. I'm sure she gets hounded everywhere she goes.
Yeah.
It's not fun being like that famous. You have no anonymity. You got to go out in mustaches, fake mustaches and hats and glasses and stuff. The fans overstep, they cry. I remember being a kid. I was like 12 years old, and there was some autograph thing for like Miami Dolphin players, right? So I went, and there was this guy there, and he owned like a sports card store. And I was going to get an autograph from, I think, a wide receiver at the time named O.J. McDuffie. And he starts telling me a story. This guy, he's like 45, and I'm 12. And he goes, yeah, I met Dan Marino. He's kind of a jerk. I go, oh, man, I hate to hear that. Because Marino was like, my sports idol.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I go, oh, And I've heard that Marino was kind of, he could be surly, so you didn't want to, you didn't want to get, have a bad experience with him. But he goes, yeah, we went to the airport to find him and get his autograph, and it was his birthday, so we bought him a birthday present. My daughter gave it to him. He said, I can't accept that. What a jerk. I'm like, what did you think was going to happen there?
Yeah.
Multi-million-dollar, talented, famous quarterback Dan Marino is going to be like, a gift?
Oh,
and like
wow.
tear it open like a child on Christmas Day and hug you and come over to your house and sign autographs for you.
We're best friends now.
Yeah, can we play with this together right now? Sports card store owner? So fans are nuts.
Yeah.
Like they expect a lot out of people.
They do.
I get why like she would want to be in a restaurant alone.
Right.
Rent it out. That's fine. But back to Dan Marino real quick. Met him several times.
Yeah.
Extremely nice.
Okay.
Like crazy nice.
Okay, good.
But he's nice to kids because I would see him be like we would go to a show and stuff, and I would see him be a little bit curt with like autograph hounds that were adults because he knew they were going and this was before eBay, but he knew they were going and selling his autograph.
Absolutely.
Just getting something from them and profiting off them, and they're standing in these big lines. And he got loud with an adult one time because they were shoving a kid out of the way, and he like scolded him like that's a good guy right there. That's like a Pittsburgh, down to earth like good dude right there. So and he was so nice to me as a kid. I will always like appreciate how good he was to kids. So anyways, but the Swift thing, kicking people out of a restaurant.
That's too much.
I mean, she put a lot of people in an awkward position. She, the waitresses. They got to kick out maybe some regulars, the owner. Some people might not go back to that place.
I wouldn't go back.
I'd be like, who said? So I gotta ruin my Sunday night dinner because this idiot couldn't call ahead.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Like the day before.
Yeah, they could have shut the restaurant down.
Yeah.
They could have had a sign that said we have a private event tonight. Done. But I think she kind of likes this stuff. I think dating Kelsey is a thing. I think when you're that famous, you want to make sure that you stay on top. So you keep doing stuff. She obviously doesn't mind being. Having her face everywhere. She goes to the Chiefs game.
Yeah.
She's in the suite. They go to her like every second. She was so distracting.
Yeah.
So, I think that her dating history and her behavior kind of tells you that she's likely a nightmare. I don't think she'll be coming on the Point Second podcast. That's fine. We don't want you here.
No.
Take you and your boyfriend.
I think she wants to be, but we're not going to say no.
Take your penicillin. Get off of my platform, okay? You not getting my view. I would so have her on this show. We would get 50 billion views.
I would totally turn my key on that real.
I would be such a coward. I would like formally apologize. Taylor, I want to apologize. I'm so sorry. That stuff I said about you. Thank you for making me so rich. I have more money to gamble with now. Did I show you that prop I hit the other day?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So the Jalen Waddle out, right? And then another receiver, River Craycraft, was out. So I'm like, all right, let me look at some props because I already hit my Dolphin bet. I was winning. I'm like, I got a little money to play around with. And they had Robbie Chosen at 28-1 to score a touchdown in the second half. And I'm like, he's going to be playing a lot. So then they pull two, and I'm like, all right, whatever. 28-1. I was going to throw 100 on it. I threw 50 on it. I won $1,400.
Wow.
Scored a 63-yard touchdown.
God.
Almost got tackled at the 2 by Alabama player Patrick Surtain, the second. One of my favorites. Almost ruined me. So that made up for a lot of my college bets that I blew.
Good payoff.
Back in Jimmy's pocket.
There you go.
All right, that's the show. We are back Thursday. Thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate you. Love you, always have. Always will. Sammy, want to know Sammy?
Yeah.
Sammy's picks, baby. Heating up. Hot, hot heat.